What you mean I gotta pay $15 to apply for a grant? What? If you've been asking yourself that question lately, then I'm going to go over a couple things to explain why I think this is happening more and more often. If you don't know who I am, my name is Zia, build a business you love. And I actually empower women to start businesses based on their experience, their skill set, and even the trauma that they've been through. So be sure to follow me. Now let's get into these grants. So I know a lot of you guys have been trying to apply and researching grants, and you're seeing that more and more grants are asking for $10, $15 in order for you to apply. And you're asking yourself, if this is free money, then why do I have to pay to apply? And then you think, is this a scam? Well, some may be, but I'm talking about the ones that do this that aren't scams, okay? So for the most part, guys, a lot of the grant applications have processing fees, right? That's usually for verification, for confirming business licenses, banking info, and to make sure that you're a real applicant. Also, for admin costs, the cost of running like workshops, reviewing applications, hosting and pitching events. And honestly, the data shows that people who pay for applications generally take it more seriously. That's one of the first set of reasons. The second set of reasons why more and more grant applications are requiring fees is because from 2020 to about 2022, the equity and inclusion, the diversity, equity, and inclusion funding had exploded. Like everybody was getting a check. You get a check. You get a check. It was like Oprah. And we saw like major corporations and private funds offering millions of grants specifically to Black women entrepreneurs, minority-owned businesses, and underserved communities. But now things are shifting, okay? Because this one case in particular is shaking the grant world up. And this is the Fearless Fund case. So basically, a venture capital fund focused on investing in women of color, but was sued. They were sued under the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which prohibits discrimination in contracts. Stay with me because I'm going somewhere with this, okay? The plaintiffs, were the people that's complaining, argued that by offering these grants only to Black women in general, it was discriminatory against other groups of people. So in 2024, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals sided against the Fearless Fund, essentially saying that race-specific and women-specific grant programs could violate the law. This case set the precedent, okay, for other cases. So basically, they used the very act that's supposed to help us, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, to go against what we actually were trying to do, which is to help underserviced, underprivileged groups of people. Now, a lot of grant programs are at risk of legal challenges if they continue to give funding for these specific groups of people. And a lot of companies, larger companies, are scaling back, as we already know, on DEI grants and other opportunities and resources. So we may see more grant opportunities present a fee, okay, associated with the grant, because a lot of the DEI money that was supposed to be designated for these grant opportunities are now becoming non-existent. So yes, this means that even for the non-for-profits or the nonprofit organizations that once had those opportunities, those grant opportunities, they're now charging a little modest fee to keep the programs running legally, sustainably, legitimately. So I would say just make sure you check out the particular grant. Make sure you do your research, because a lot of the money that was once out there has now disappeared. Follow me for more.